Hey guys, I hope you can hear me. But actually, let me take the Bluetooth off. Okay. Yeah, because it was connected to my car. So before I have to go into work, I just wanted to kind of make a video about the ASVAB, and I've actually had a lot of people asking me how I scored so high. Um, I ended up getting a 95 on the ASVAB. That was my AFQT score. And that's like the main score that they look at whenever you're going for specific jobs. And then, of course, they break it down into other categories that you can score in as well. So the higher you do on this test, the more jobs are going to be available to you. So um, I literally like studied maybe a month before my ASVAB. I took the ASVAB on a Monday morning. Um, I went to Charlotte MEPS. It was on December 9, 2019, so just this past year. It was super cold, and a lot of people were in there, and yeah, I was actually super shocked that I got a 95. And what I really did was I used this one app that I downloaded. And just as a disclaimer, I'm not like promoting this in any way. They're not paying me to promote this. But I found like some of the reviews for it on the Play Store. They were saying how like they really like the app, and that if you download it, that you should upgrade to the premium. So that's what I did. I ended up downloading this app, and it's called AFQT Mastery. And I'll actually link it below. I might be able to put a picture in this video as well, so you can see what the app looks like. But what I really enjoyed about this app was not only did it have practice questions, and they had like labels. So you could label each question as, okay, I know this, and that would be green. And then yellow is I sort of know what this question is and the answer. And then there's also red, where you're just like, I have no clue, like what the hell they were asking me in this question. So I went through like all the practice questions, and I would label each one accordingly, so that once I went back through them, they would only I would only need to go over the ones that I really didn't know, or I had somewhat knew about. So that was really convenient as far as time goes, because then I'm not wasting a whole bunch of energy or time on questions that I already know. And that was one thing that I really liked about it. The second thing I really liked about this app is that they had broken down the different categories and types of questions that you might get asked. And aside from those categories, they also had like lectures. So like you could click on certain things. Like let's say you were working on your arithmetic reasoning. You could click on arithmetic reasoning, and it would bring you to like the basics. And they also had like a couple of videos that you could watch. And I would just go over it and be like, oh yeah, I kind of remember this from like high school. Now, mind you, I am 29 years old. I'm about to be 30 years old in a couple of months. And so it's been a long time since I've had to really, think about any of these categories. I mean, I did go to college, so even some of those topics that were in the ASVAB, like I didn't even have to deal with in college. So, I mean, this was a complete refresher for me. But a lot of people were telling me like, hey, don't study like the day before the test. Don't study that weekend. Like, just relax. Like, you'll be fine and all this stuff. And, I actually had a goal in mind. Like, before I went to take the ASVAB, I told myself like, okay, I'm looking up jobs. I know what I want. And I ended up deciding that I wanted to do cardiopulmonary lab tech. And for that specific AFSC, you have to have a specific score. And so definitely do your research beforehand. Like, you can find so many resources on the internet as far as like what kind of ASVAB score you would need to get in order to obtain this job. And even if you don't find that information online, you can definitely ask your recruiter. They should be able to tell you, like, okay, if you want to, get that job, then you're going to have to score like a 70 or a 50 on the ASVAB. And that kind of gives you a goal as far as how much you need to study. And so, with my goal being something more medical, I definitely was trying to study and practice a lot more so that I could, like, definitely get a high score. I think I needed maybe like a 70. And then also, you do need a specific score in those smaller categories. So, when you do actually study for those smaller categories, like, you can score better as far as, okay, this, let's say my job needed, arithmetic, reasoning, and word knowledge and paragraph comprehension. That would be the things that I would focus on. So yeah, just some tips and tricks. So good luck if you're going for the ASVAB soon. And I hope this video helped a little bit. I know it's a little bit raw and uncut, but